Hello and welcome. I'm Nitin Gokhale, and I'm privileged to have with me today Sri Lanka's new president, Mr. Gotabaya Rajapaksa. Um, what is your priority as Sri Lanka's new president? What are your priorities, rather?
We have given our policy to the people. In that, we have identified certain areas that we have to act upon. Number one is the ensure the security of this country and the people. So I had to readjust certain things in these institutions, especially in the military and also the intelligence agencies. And next one is the economy. That's very important at this time. So I have identified certain areas where we have to focus and improve. So the security and the economy
are the two first priorities. Right. But in security, I mean, you are well known for what you did during the Ilam War 4. When you revamped the entire security structure, you got the intelligence setup completely reorganized, and of course led the entire war effort. What is, in your view, has happened in these last 5 years where there has been some slippage? And we, of course, had the Easter bombings on 21st April. So what do you want to do to...
It depends on the policy of the government.
Right.
So unless you give the priority and in your government's policy, if the national security is not in the priority list, then it trickles down to the lowest level. And that's what happened because the past government did not give enough priority to national security.
Right.
And also probably they misunderstood the importance of national security to bring economic stability. First, you must have the stability in the country, and where even if for the local or maybe foreign investors to invest, local businessmen to invest, entrepreneurs to invest in this country. The national security is important.
Extremely important, yes.
So that is what happened during the last 5 years. Because that government did not give enough attention to the security of this country. And there were other things happened, especially on certain investigations on the officers, especially who were involved in our
humanitarian
operations that we had.
Yes.
That affected the mindset of
the morale of
the people, the security forces.
Yes.
And also there were things happening on the national intelligence side.
I see. Okay.
Because see, we have different agencies in charge of the intelligence part.
Okay.
Intelligence is important.
Yeah,
you
very
know
important. Yes.
That starting with the SIS, State Intelligence Services. That's the number one civilian establishment.
Right.
Then you have the military intelligence, the Army Intelligence Directorate, Navy Intelligence, and the Air Force Intelligence. But out of that, actually the Directorate of Military Intelligence, that's the intelligence arm of the Army,
Right.
was the most experienced
Right.
intelligence agency. Then you have the CID, that is
Of the police.
Yes, and the TID, Terrorist Investigations Division.
Yes.
These institutions are more or less investigation units. They are good at investigating. Not
So post-event, they are good.
not
Anticipating maybe.
intelligence. Intelligence is a different
ball
completely.
game, yes. Right.
So, but the previous government did not give this authority to the military intelligence. So they were more or less not involved
At all, yeah.
in even gathering information, analyzing, and intelligence. They were not involved in that. So mostly it was the
Civilian agencies.
CID and TID and probably SIS. But I should say that they were good at different areas.
Exactly.
Not in this not because of anything else. For the last so many years, where we had, the terrorism in this country, LTTE terrorism.
Yes.
In that, major role of intelligence was played by the Directorate of Military
Intelligence of the Army.
And also we train these officers. They have the experience. So it's difficult immediately to stop that and give it to another. I think that was another reason.
Right.
So first thing is, of course, the government policy.
Correct.
Everything depends
So leadership.
on the government policy. Then the second thing is the institutions which are responsible for the intelligence. If they were not given if they change the role, then of course there is a issue. So these are the things that which ultimately led to this incident.
Yes, in April 2019. But that we'll move ahead, because if I remember correctly, and we have discussed this number of times, sir, that you had actually got them on a one grid kind of a thing, all these agencies, when you were Defense Secretary.
So now I have appointed a very good Defense Secretary who is a very experienced in these aspects and very dedicated officer.
Yes.
And I have given instructions to reconstitute this organization and get all intelligence agencies together and coordinate this and to work accordingly, rather than restricting them into watertight apartments and working individually. They must share. That is what is important. So he will do that.
That's right. But do you think he also needs to do a lot of cooperation with countries around, like India, for instance, and other countries, Western countries maybe? Because today intelligence sharing is an important...
Yes, in this it is very important. Not like the LTTE terrorism.
Right.
Of course, the LTTE also had support from outside.
Right.
But that is the LTTE outside organization itself.
Yes.
It is not from
a transnational organization.
Transnational organization.
Yes.
So, but here it is not so.
Yes.
A lot of, we are only a part of
That's
it.
Right.
The bigger organization is outside.
Correct.
Outside and international and global.
Right.
So it is very important that we get lot of help from outside agencies, because those countries are also facing this problem.
Same problem, yeah.
Whether it India or any other countries, most of the countries in this world are facing this issue. So they have advanced resources, technology, and more resources, and also the knowledge of the Islam
or Islamic terrorism. Yes.
And so therefore we must use that knowledge and that experience we must use.
Yes. So in that context, let me also ask you before I move on to the economy. There is always this criticism for the past almost, I would say, 10 years now, since 2010, when the war ended in 2009, that Sri Lanka does not need such a big army, such a big military. Your views on this, really?
They see it's up to the military and the leaders to decide what should be the strength according to the threat perception that we have to analyze. So that even after we increase the strength of the military when it was required during the conflict period, then actually we did not recruit for the last maybe for 10 years. We didn't recruit people like
at that pace, maybe
at
at that pace.
Where then so normal attrition took place, and I think today the numbers have gone down. And but then the focus also, see, during the conflict period, we needed the infantry people, the armor, and all these other
combat arms.
We needed, but we can change this focus into different now. Even in foreign armies, they're lot involved in national development.
That's right.
There are a lot of armies, even in the American army, is involved in national development projects. So we can change the focus and use them accordingly. You know? But at the same time, now in this type of situation, intelligence is more important.
Exactly.
So change the focus on them. Maybe we increase the cadres of the intelligence cadres. Maybe we may put more investment on training of intelligence, the intelligence gathering mechanism. We have to change according to the threat.
That's right. The priorities will undergo a change. That's what you're saying. But let me move on to a little bit on the economy, because that's something that has also suffered in the last couple of years, and especially tourism had gone down. But now that you have come as the president, and there is obviously confidence building which has happened amongst investors and tourist operators and all that. What are your broad plans for economy?
We have identified certain areas where we have to focus. The new government has focused. We have to understand agriculture and plantation is very important to us. Still, 1/3 of our the population is involved in agriculture. So we can't forget agriculture. Sometimes, the foreign advisors, they say that we have to focus on different things, but this is connected with our culture, our history. So we can't do that. And this is an area, I mean, any country presently, any country in the world cannot forget the food security. It's very important. So we can't depend on outside, and it's in our culture, and it's an area where we can develop. So that is one. I give priority.
Topmost priority, perhaps.
Maybe not topmost, but priority to that. Because today there's a lot of technology. Now, how much we assist in agriculture, whatever the successive government had many plans on improving agriculture, but still the farmer is poor. So this is...
He hasn't benefited.
He has not been. So this is bad, because then their children will not go to farming because they see their parents are poor still. So this is where we have to help, especially. But today, there are enough technology in the world, to with less investment, get more
output,
income, more production, using even in water management, fertilizer management, using organic fertilizer, then even like the greenhouses, drip irrigation, vertical irrigation, and also this in getting more proper advanced seeds. That's very important.
More productivity which is there.
And also the research and development. We have to develop these things by the government so that we can assist the farmer to get more income. And also to develop the agriculture-based industries. So make the farmer an entrepreneur. You know,
instead of just a farmer, you are also making him an entrepreneur.
Make him a businessman. See, now we about 40% of the produce of the farmer is wasted because of poor
storage,
packaging, and
transport, maybe lack of transport,
lack of proper transport. So these are now. If you prevent these things, then automatically the income of the farmer will go up. And also now sometimes people grow tomatoes. And when you get the harvest, now you can't sell.
There's a glut.
Then the prices go down. So why not use this for making sauce? You know, or other
so the forward linkages have to be there. Forward linkages have to be there.
So that you know that you get the proper value for your produce.
So I'm glad you are focusing on that, but also your strength has been on building big infrastructure projects and getting them delivered on time.
Yes, the infrastructure is important, no? Otherwise, you know, you can't take the development to outside. That was the problem. So that agriculture, there are a lot of areas where we can improve in agriculture and plantation. We have for a longer period, actually, our main foreign exchange earner was the tea, rubber and coconut. So for centuries. So but today, because of poor management and other areas, that the income of these things have gone down. So we have to focus on these things, and not only these things, like other products like pepper. We produce the best pepper in the world. Then the cinnamon, we produce the best cinnamon in the world. So there are things that we can. Now unfortunately, we import certain items which we have in Sri Lanka. So we have to improve these things. Then we can save foreign exchange. And we have to export, not only just export, what is important is the value addition.
Value addition, correct.
So we have to do value addition. And even in each and everything, move out from only the traditional systems, but improve the research and develop the product.
Correct.
You know,
and make it a little more modern and
yes, so that you and also you find more markets, and get the proper value for the quality. Now it is very important for us. The Ceylon tea. The Ceylon tea is very
well known.
We had but today the other markets have come up. Other countries have come into the market. So we have to get the correct value for the quality. I firmly believe we should not go for quantity, but for the quality and get that market for Ceylon tea.
Today the world is ready for quality, to pay for quality.
Yes,
that's true.
So that's where we have to and also when you talk about agriculture, it's very important to educate the farmer in how to use the correct amount of water. Otherwise, the farmer wastes water.
Correct.
So, then also the use of fertilizer.
Fertilizer, yes.
We have to,
very moderate use of fertilizer.
and the quality. And also gradually move into organic.
Organic, yeah. Correct.
Organic, because today there is a huge demand
Of course.
for organic
food everywhere.
Food everywhere.
That's
so
true.
this is where we have to educate, we have to assist and help the farmer gradually move into these areas, so that they can get a good income.
Absolutely.
On
So
that.
I think
so this is one area.
Yes.
And the other thing, I'm very interested in developing our economy on technology.
I'm glad you said that, yes.
Because this is known as, the 21st century is known as knowledge
Knowledge century, yes.
based century. So this is a good thing, because it's not a secret that our industrial base is not that huge.
Right.
We have small industries on high tech,
Sure.
but it's not at a higher level.
Right.
And also we don't have much of natural resources,
Exactly.
oil or gas or silver or any
Or
minerals.
coal, whatever.
So, but what is important is we have a very skillful, easily trainable human resource.
Absolutely.
So that is where we have to focus this. So today we know the center of gravity of the development and also in the economy is moving towards Asia.
Asia, exactly.
A lot of countries, if we take only this side, taking from
east of Suez, let's say.
that of course, and even come to this side,
yes.
even starting from India,
yes.
Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Vietnam, Japan, China. So all these countries are
powerhouses
had come up. In and also, if you see, most of these countries have come up on. They have developed their economy based on technology
and human resources, like you mentioned.
So this is where we have a good opportunity.
Absolutely.
We should not miss this window.
Right.
So this is where I'm focusing another area. So, but then now this, see, in information technology,
right,
and digital based technology, these are various lot of opportunities
exactly,
for the for people
and the young people in your country.
Yes. And they can earn a lot of money.
Yes.
And the other important factor is linked with that is the education.
Right.
So you have to prepare this
generation of young people
to suit that economy.
Absolutely. The knowledge-based economy that you mentioned.
Yes. So this is my next focus.
Yes.
I'm putting a lot of focus on education. This is one area. Actually, I have to get assistance from all these countries.
Right.
And also there are other fields that I have concentrated actually on fisheries.
Right.
Because we are an island.
Yeah, exactly.
So we have to develop fisheries. Yes. Then also the tourism.
Tourism, yes.
Very important. And also we have to understand the world, where the world is the global development.
Yes.
Now today, in all these countries that I mentioned,
yes,
there's a huge middle class.
Absolutely, and which has disposable income.
Yes. Now from India to China,
yes,
so much big. Now even I think it's about 400 million.
Yes, more than 400 million. It's growing.
In India.
Yes, in India
alone.
Correct.
So these are the people who go from country to country. These are the people who go as tourists.
That's right.
So there is, we have to attract. We have to, improve our advertising in these countries and attract people, create different, because there
segments
are people,
of tourism. Yes,
yeah,
there are different segments, but
different
it's a lovely
segments.
country anyway.
Yes.
I mean, it's a naturally beautiful country.
So there are now, even if you take the Indian tourists,
Yes.
in religious
Oh, they all come.
areas,
Yes, exactly.
even for Theravada Buddhism,
Yes. Yeah.
there are a lot of
Yeah. They go to Kandy and Anuradhapura.
yeah, this is the ideal country.
That's
so
right.
these are areas where we have
You will
to
concentrate.
improve. So the agriculture, technology, then
Education,
the tourism,
fisheries.
the fisheries.
Yes.
These are the areas where we can easily improve quickly and
get the economy back on the rails, I think. Yeah.
So these are, and also the foreign direct investments is important.
That's
for
right.
us. So we have to encourage the business people.
Right.
But what I am my requirement is to these high-tech companies to come and invest in Sri Lanka. Because we have a very easily trainable, high-skilled people.
Yes.
So therefore, I think it's good for them. I think even for them it's beneficial
Yes.
to invest in Sri Lanka on these areas.
So it will be a win-win situation for both, actually.
Yes. So these are the areas where I'm really focusing.
Absolutely. On that note, President Rajapaksa, thank you very much for this time and your very candid views on everything ranging from economy to security and to development. It's always a pleasure to meet you, but thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.